Tracking Animals. Text by John Carr. You might think an animal tracker is someone who follows animal paw prints through a dense jungle. But an animal tracker is just as likely to be a scientist reading satellite data off a computer screen. Tiny electronic transmitters and satellite technology have allowed scientists to track the movements of animals and learn about their behaviour. Tracking Animals not only looks at how this technology works, but it also tells the stories of some of the remarkable journeys that have been made by animals tracked in this way. Like Nicole, the great white shark, who swam 11,000 kilometres from South Africa to Australia and then swam back. And Donna the caribou, who migrates thousands of kilometres every year across northern Canada and Alaska, and then returns to the same place to have her calves. And Wadadley, the hooded seal from the Arctic Circle, who surprised locals when he arrived on a tropical island off South America after being attacked by a shark. And the turtle that swam from South America across the Atlantic Ocean all the way to France. Tracking Animals. Text by John Carr. Table of Contents. Tracking Turtles, page 4. Turtle Facts, page 7. Tracking Crocodiles, page 8. How to tag a crocodile, page 12. Saltwater Crocodile Facts, page 14. Tagging Sharks, page 16. How to tag a tiger shark, page 22. Great White Shark Facts, page 24. Tiger Shark Facts, page 26. Tracking Hooded Seals, page 28. Hooded Seal Facts, page 34. Tracking Brown Rats, page 36. Brown Rat Facts, page 39. Tracking Caribou, page 40. How to collar a caribou, page 44. Caribou Facts, page 46. Index, page 48. Text by John Carr. All over the world there are wild creatures walking, swimming or flying around with tiny electronic tags on their bodies. The tags have transmitters that send information about where the animal is to a satellite in space and then back to computers on Earth. This is called satellite tracking. Scientists have been surprised and amazed at some of the journeys these tagged animals make. Scientists track the animals to find out more about them. They also tag them so that they can recognize the animal when they see it again. There are rules for scientists when they place satellite tags on animals. The tag should not be painful or uncomfortable, or affect the animal's health or how it behaves. The tag should not weigh more than 4% of the weight of the animal. For example, if an animal weighs 100 kilograms, the tag should not weigh more than 4 kilograms. Most satellite tags used on animals are designed to fall off a few months after the batteries have died. More than 20 different kinds of creatures are being tracked by satellite around the world. Here are some of the creatures that scientists track by satellite. Look carefully and you can see the tags. Tracking turtles. Icante is a large leatherback turtle whose amazing journey from South America to Africa and then to Europe has been tracked by scientists and watched on the internet by people all over the world. In July 2005, scientists attached a harness with a satellite transmitter to Icante while she was nesting on a beach in Suriname, on the east coast of South America. By October, she had swum across the Atlantic to Africa, where it is thought she spent several months feeding on her favourite food, jellyfish. In March 2006, Icante headed north towards the coast of France. By October, she was spending time about 370 kilometres off the south coast of the United Kingdom, probably feeding on the jellyfish that are common in that area. The tag sends messages to a satellite in space. Software on the computer makes a new dot on the map when the signal is received. The transmitter sends a signal to the satellite. The satellite beams the information back to Earth. This information is sent through to the scientist's computer. The position of the turtle is recorded on a map. Icanti has a satellite tag attached with a harness under her flippers. Chomper is a loggerhead turtle who was stranded and brought back to health. He is heavy. The helpers carry his box down to the beach so he can be set free.
So do you know how we keep track of him? In case he, on his rear flippers, he has two pit tags, or two flipper tags, and he's got a pit tag in his muscle. So if he ever comes back up, we'll be able to figure out where he was released from.
Since then, Icanti has travelled back towards the warmer waters off the coast of Africa. Her progress will be followed for as long as the tracking device is active. In 2 years, she has covered 15,000 kilometres. Her deepest dive on her journey so far was 840 metres, twice as deep as a scuba diver. Scientists believe Icanti will return to nest at the same beach in Suriname where she was tagged. This map shows the progress of Icanti in the Atlantic Ocean. She travelled from South America to Africa and then to Europe. Turtle facts. Leatherback turtles are so named because their shells are softer and more like leather than the shells of other turtles. Female leatherbacks always return to the beach where they were born to lay their eggs. Males never return to the land after they hatch. Leatherback turtles are the largest turtles in the world. They grow to about 1.8 metres long and weigh 500 kilograms. The label on the diagram is turtle and 1.8 metre tall man. Tracking crocodiles. In Australia, saltwater crocodiles are protected animals. They live in rivers and on beaches, and they sometimes cause problems when they go close to places where people live. One of these crocodiles is named Banana Head. Banana Head is a 3.6 metre long saltwater crocodile whose scientists trapped in a river. A saltwater crocodile. The bright yellow areas on this map are where the saltwater crocodiles can be found. They put an electronic tag on his back. Then they used a helicopter to move Banana Head 48 kilometres away to the sea. The scientists wanted to find out if crocodiles could find their way home. Banana Head spent 2 weeks moving up and down the coastline. Then he swam into his river and back to the spot where he had been tagged. Banana Head's journey up the river took only 5 days. The scientists were amazed because for the last 3 kilometres, Banana Head walked across very rough land. Saltwater crocodiles can live in fresh water in rivers and the saltier water on the coast. Banana Head was captured beside the Nesbitt River in Queensland. Banana Head proved that crocodiles do have a homing instinct. They know how to find their way home. Since his journey back, Banana Head has spent most of his time swimming up and down a 6-kilometre stretch of the river. He has made one more journey to the sea and back. This time, he didn't go in a helicopter. How to tag a crocodile. Banana Head is caught in a net trap beside the Nesbitt River. He is held down, his jaws are taped shut, and a blindfold is put on him. When a crocodile is caught, great care must be taken to keep its jaws shut. Steel wires are threaded through a large scale on Banana Head's back. The tag is attached with the wires and some glue. Banana Head is rolled up in a blanket and put in a lifting net underneath the helicopter. He is carried in a cradle under the helicopter to a place 48 kilometres south of the Nesbitt River. Banana Head is released from the ropes and the net at the coastline. He makes straight for the water. Saltwater crocodile facts. Saltwater crocodiles can stay underwater for up to 5 hours. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest crocodiles in the world. The males grow up to 6 metres long. On land, they can move at 80 kilometres an hour, but only for a short distance. Saltwater crocodiles can live for months without eating. Saltwater crocodiles have 3 eyelids on each eye. When baby saltwater crocodiles hatch on land, their mother carries them to the water in her mouth. Tagging sharks. In 2002, scientists put a tag on the back of a tiger shark named Nicole. At the time, Nicole was swimming in the northern part of the Great Barrier Reef off the Queensland coast of Australia. The tag collected facts about where Nicole swam. It also stored facts about how deep she swam and how warm the water was. Even though Nicole was in shallow waters, she did not surface once. The scientists believed that Nicole was close to the Great Barrier Reef because that is where green turtles lay their eggs. The sharks like to feed on turtles. In 2003, scientists put a tag on a great white shark, also named Nicole. At the time, Nicole was swimming near Dyer Island in South Africa. Female adult tiger sharks are about 4.8 metres long. They eat anything they can find: fish, turtles, octopus, rubbish and seabirds. Female great white sharks can grow as long as 6 metres. They are the largest predators in the oceans. The tag on Nicole was programmed to come off after 99 days. It floated to the surface and started sending information to a satellite in space. When the scientists read the information, they couldn't believe it. This map shows how far Nicole swam in relation to the size of Australia. Nicole wasn't in South Africa anymore. She was nearly 13,000 kilometres away in Australia. She had swum from South Africa to Australia. It is the fastest swim across an ocean by any animal ever recorded. Some scientists think Nicole has been doing this amazing trip every year for at least 5 years. The tag showed that Nicole made lots of deep dives during her swim. Most of the time she swam near the surface, but one day she swam down to 975 metres below the surface. Without a tag, the scientists couldn't track Nicole any longer. But 153 days later, she was seen back near Dyer Island in South Africa, where she had been tagged before. When Nicole returned home, scientists used close-up photos of her fin to prove who she was. The nicks and indents on Nicole's dorsal fin helped identify her, like fingerprints are used to identify people. Scientists catch sharks for tagging in different ways. Some use fish oil and fish pieces in the water to attract the shark, and then a larger fish bait to lure the shark into a cage. These scientists are using a tail clamp to bring the shark close to the small boat. How to tag a tiger shark. The scientists use a small boat to get near the shark. They use a tail clamp to pull her closer to the boat. A tail rope replaces the tail clamp, and ropes are looped around her pectoral fins to lift her higher in the water so scientists can reach her dorsal fin. The scientist measures the shark and takes a tiny piece of her skin so he can be sure this is the same shark if he catches her again. Most sharks can also be identified by the shape of the dorsal fin. The satellite tag is fixed to the dorsal fin with 2 bolts. The shark is released. The whole tagging takes only 10 minutes. Great white shark facts. Great white sharks are only white underneath. The top part of their bodies is grey. The number of great white sharks is falling because they are being hunted by people. Around the coasts of Australia, the United States and Canada, people are not allowed to hunt great white sharks. Great white sharks have to keep swimming. If they stop, they will sink. Most great white sharks are 4 to 4.5 metres long. The biggest great white shark ever seen was 7 metres long and weighed 3,175 kilograms. Great white sharks have over 3,000 teeth. Their teeth are replaced all the time. They do not chew their food. Their teeth rip it into pieces that they swallow whole. A big meal can last a shark up to 2 months. Tiger shark facts. Tiger sharks get their name from the stripes on their bodies. Most tiger sharks are 3 to 4 metres long and weigh about 450 kilograms. Tiger sharks usually hunt on their own at night. They can reach speeds of 32 kilometres an hour. Tiger sharks have very good eyesight. This means they can see prey even in murky waters. They eat anything they find, including old tyres, number plates, and other rubbish that people drop in the ocean. Tracking hooded seals. Hooded seals are usually found in the freezing waters of the Arctic Ocean. They are born on ice floes and are rarely seen on land by people. Only the adult males actually have a hood. Stephanie and Wadadley were hooded seals who had satellite transmitters attached to them after they became stranded on beaches a long way from their home. This is an adult hooded seal with the hood clearly bulging above its mouth. Wadadley was a young seal without a hood. A mother and baby hooded seal rest on an ice floe. Stephanie was discovered stranded on Nahant Beach in Massachusetts, USA, in February 1996. She was too sick and weak to swim on her own. She was looked after and fed at an aquarium for 8 months until she was ready to go back to the sea. Before Stephanie was released, the aquarium scientists glued a satellite transmitter to the back of her head. Scientists hoped they would be able to track her for a year before she molted and the transmitter fell off. Hooded seals lose their coats and grow new ones every year. This is called molting. Stephanie was tracked up the northeast coast of North America to the Arctic Ocean. Stephanie was released close to where she was stranded. The satellite information showed that she returned home very quickly. Within 6 weeks, she had travelled 3,700 kilometres to cross the Arctic Ocean. Her average speed was 93 kilometres a day. The satellite transmitter also gave scientists valuable information about how often Stephanie dived and how deep. Stephanie's deepest dive was 396 metres. Wadadley was a young hooded seal who got washed up on a beach after being attacked by a shark. The beach was so far from Wadadley's home that the people who found him had never even seen a seal before. The beach was on the tropical island of Antigua in the Caribbean Sea. It is the furthest south a hooded seal has been seen. Wadadley was a long way from where he lived in the Arctic Ocean when he was washed up in the Caribbean. Hundreds of people came to see the young seal, and some stayed with him all night to protect him. A trench was dug around him, and ice was put in it to try and keep him cool. The next day he was taken to an ice factory and kept cool until help arrived. Wadadley was flown to an aquarium in Maine to be cared for. Volunteers bring the crate with Wadadley inside to a beach in Maine, on the east coast of the United States. At the aquarium, Wadadley eats to build up his strength. When Wadadley left Antigua, he weighed 25 kilograms. When he was released back into the sea in Maine, he weighed 105 kilograms. He ate about 5.5 kilograms of fish every day. A satellite transmitter was attached to Wadadley before he was released. Unlike Stephanie, Wadadley did not head back to the Arctic Ocean. He spent most of his time moving slowly along the coast in the Gulf of Maine until he died in March 2003. Hooded seal facts. Hooded seals get their name from the hood that the males have on their muzzles. During the mating season, the males blow their hoods up to twice the size of a football. They use this display to attract a mate. Male hooded seals can grow up to 2.7 metres long and weigh up to 408 kilograms. Baby hooded seals weigh 23 kilograms when they are born. Baby hooded seals are called bluebacks because they have blue-grey backs and cream-coloured undersides. Hooded seals can swim underwater for almost 1 hour. Hooded seals are born on ice floes and their mothers leave them after 4 days. After 2 weeks, the babies leave the ice floe to live in the sea. Tracking brown rats. Razza was an amazing brown rat who was tracked on a small island in New Zealand. Scientists put a tiny radio collar around his neck and let him go. They wanted to track Razza because they hoped he would help them learn more about how to stop rats invading islands that were kept as bird sanctuaries. These are places where birds are protected. In New Zealand, rats threaten native bird species. A sleepy rat with a radio collar around its neck. Scientists tried to catch Razza to get him off the island. Even though they could track him on a radio receiver, they couldn't find him. Over 15 traps were set, but they still didn't catch him. The normal snap traps didn't seem to work on Razza. After 10 weeks, the signal from Razza's radio collar stopped. Razza had disappeared. Soon after, rat droppings were found on another island nearby. The scientists did tests on the droppings, They were amazed to find that the droppings belonged to Razza. Razza had swum 400 metres across the sea to get to the island. This was the longest swim ever recorded by a rat in open water. Nobody knew that rats could swim so far in the sea. The scientists had learned something new about rats, but they still hadn't found Razza. On this new island, the scientists used different ways to try and catch Razza. They used poison, but that didn't work. They used trained dogs, but that didn't work. They even buried traps with fish for bait. That didn't work either. After 18 weeks, Razza was finally caught in a trap using penguin meat for bait. Razza taught the scientists that they did need to find new ways to keep rats out of bird sanctuaries. Brown rat facts. Brown rats can grow to 50 centimetres long. They can climb walls. They can squeeze through holes a centimetre wide. Brown rats will eat just about anything. The best bait to trap them with is chocolate, dried fruit, sausage, bacon and peanut butter, and penguins for Razza. Scientists use a trap with inky paper and bait to find out what animal is there. The animal's footprints can be matched like human fingerprints. This is the card that shows Razza's footprints. Tracking caribou. Donna is a caribou who has been tracked by satellites for several years. She is one of 123,000 caribou of the Porcupine River herd that migrates around the forests and plains of Alaska and northern Canada every year. Caribou are large deer, and both male and female caribou have antlers. Every year caribou in Donna's herd migrate over a huge area. Scientists use satellite collars to learn exactly where the caribou go and when. The herd begins its migration in April. After the calves are born in June, the female caribou stay close to other caribou in the herd to get protection from wolves, grizzly bears and golden eagles. The herd heads off again with the arrival of annoying insects in July. Caribou must swim across wide rivers and find their way around oil pipelines to travel to the coastal areas in the spring and return south in the autumn. In 1997, Donna was one of the first caribou to have a satellite collar put around her neck. The collar has been replaced 4 times as the batteries run out. The collar weighs about 1.8 kilograms. The Porcupine River herd, which Donna is part of, migrates across the northern wilderness in spring. Once a week, the collar switches itself on and transmits messages to the satellite for 8 hours, then switches itself off again. A collar can send messages for 18 months before it has to be replaced. The satellite information shows that every year, Donna travels with other members of her herd in search of food. Every year in spring, she returns to the same area near the sea to have a calf. This map shows the northern coast of Alaska and Canada. The black line is the border between the United States and Canada. The area inside the red line is the herd range, where the tagged caribou travel every year. Donna and her herd don't always take the same route, but they always come back to the coastal area to have their calves. How to collar a caribou. Scientists wait until the caribou are swimming across rivers. They attach a rope to the caribou's antlers and pull it closer to the boat. Usually caribou females, or cows, are tagged because researchers want to find out about the number of calves born, and the calves are always with their mothers. It takes at least 2 people to put a collar on a caribou. While one person holds the antlers, another one puts the collar around the caribou's neck. Then the caribou is let go. To replace the collar, scientists fly in a helicopter with a net fitted into a special gun. The shooter sits behind the helicopter pilot and the door on the helicopter is removed. The shooter fires the net over the front half of the caribou. Then the helicopter lands. When the animal is calm, scientists remove the old collar and replace it with the new one. Then the caribou is released. Caribou facts. Caribou live in herds. There are 32 herds of caribou in Alaska. Each herd goes to a different part of Alaska to have its calves. Caribou calves grow very quickly. They double their weight every 10 to 15 days. Caribou have hollow hairs in their winter coats that help insulate them against the cold. Some caribou have been known to travel over 4,800 kilometres in a single year. That is the longest migration by any land-based mammal. Caribou and reindeer, who live in Europe, are the only deer where both males and females have antlers. Make a newspaper front page about the story. You be the reporter. Click Create a Character or get your own. Make your own picture. Click on Help to watch a demonstration. Complete your ID by typing in your name. Click Next when you have finished. Set a date. Choose the month. Choose the day. Great, that's today's date. Type in a name for your newspaper. Type your story. Get a picture for your story. Click Get Picture. Get a picture for your story. Click Get Picture. Make a newspaper. Make your own picture. Click on Help to watch a demonstration. Complete your ID by typing in your name. Click Next when you have finished. Set a date. Choose the month. Choose the day. Great, that's today's date. Type in a name for your newspaper. Click on a headline for your story. Shark shock scientists. Type your story. Drag a picture for your story onto the newspaper front page. Click Next when you've finished. Write a caption or label for the picture. Check your newspaper carefully. If you want to make any changes, click on the Revise button beside the part you want to change. Otherwise, click on Publish to make your newspaper. You can print your newspaper or play again.
Story Toolbox. Type your name and click Next. Create a new story. Have fun clicking on the buttons. Then drag items onto the board to make a picture. Type or write your story underneath the picture. Click Next to make another page or click Finish to view your story. Fantastic work! Click Save to save your story, click Print to print your story, or click Start Again to make another story.